is the video which is based on work of winds, how the winds are going to make an erosion. So, what is wind erosion actually? So, any type of strong wind when it starts blowing frequently in a desert area where we have particularly a loose soil. So, in such areas, when this wind it picks up the loose soil and it transports the loose soil from one place to another place. So, that type of erosion which gets created is done because of wind. So erosion by wind is erosion by wind. It is also called as alien erosion. So it occurs almost always in the desert areas. So alien erosions of sand in the desert is partially responsible for the formation of sand dunes. So you can see that sand dunes, mushroom rock, yardungs, ventifacts are different rocks or different landforms which are being created or the changes which are being done because of the erosion by wind. So the power of the wind erodes the rock and sand, and the dry areas wind-blown sand blast against the rock with the tremendous forces and slowly wearing away the softer rock. So most probably this erosion it creates a small depression on some particular place. It creates a deflation. Creates a deflation hollows. So because of these deflation processes, abstraction processes, there are so many different landforms which are created on the softer rocks. So this is how you can see in the desert area the erosion is done with the help of wind. So work of wind. Wind is less effective as an agent of erosion than running water, waves, groundwater or glaciers. So you know that all these are different agent, but comparatively of all, the wind is very much less effective as compared to the different types of other agents. So, but the wind is playing a significant role in the desert area. In desert area, you can see that the erosion is caused 90% with the help of wind rather than any other agent of erosion. So why is it effective? Like in the aridity areas where the area in the area where the rate of evaporation is greater than the rate of precipitation. So in the aridity area, you can see that evaporation process is very much high and the precipitation process is very much low. So, sparse vegetation covers or absence of trees. So, wherever the presence of trees are absent, in such cases also you can see that the erosion is done with the help of work because there is no obstacle in between. Presence of dry loose material at the surface. In the desert area, you can see that the sand is very much smooth. In the coastal areas, you can see the sand is very much loose. So, in such particular sand, the erosion takes place very much faster. A wind velocity high enough to pick up and move the sediments. The speed of the wind is so high when there are no obstacles in the desert area that it can pick up the sand in large amount and it can deposit it somewhere else at a long distance. Now we'll see about the ventifacts. So you can in the image you can see that the rock is being eroded because of the wind. There are so many scratches on the rock. The carvings are done on the rock. So this is done with the help of the process called abstraction. The video is already uploaded in this channel regarding the abstraction process. So abstraction means what? When the rocks they start uh, scratching each other. So because of that, what happens? The picture or the feature of the rock changes. So that is the abstraction process. So abstraction carves the withdrawal side of the rock into the smooth sloping surface, and these rocks are called as ventifacts. So any type of polishing, any type of rubbing of the rock is done or smoothing of the rock is done, then it is called as ventifact process is done on that particular rock. So in the areas where hard and soft rocks are found, the softer rocks gets eroded faster as they are soft in nature, so the particle gets eroded very soon. So the eroded portion of the softer rock appears like elongated ridges and harder rocks appears as elevated proportions. So next is deflation halo. In the image, you can see that how the deflation halo is been created. So when the strong winds are going to blow very in a high velocity and frequently in the desert region, so at such time, all the loose soil is being picked up with the help of that particular wind, and it is transported with the help of wind currents. So deflation most probably occurs with the wind which is blowing very fast enough in a swirling motion. Swirling motion mean in a circular motion in a circular way. So it is able to pick up and remove the small fragments of the rock, and this erosion can produce a shallow depression which can vary in diameter from a few centimeter to a few kilometers are also called as deflation halo. So the extent of these deflation halo can range from some few centimeters up to the kilometers also depends on the velocity of the wind. uh, form is the yardang, which is definitely done by the because of the wind. So yardang is the remaining part of the ridge where the rocks have been eroded. So how are the yardang basically created? So yardangs are formed in the environments where the water is scarce. So definitely you can see that such type of erosion is seen wherever the water bodies are less and the prevailing winds are strong. So where the water content is less, the wind is very much strong. The wind should be always in unidirectional. If the wind is in bidirectional, you cannot see such type of landforms created because of wind erosion. So you wherever the wind is always moving in unidirectional manner, in such areas only you can see the landform is created, that is yardang, and it carries an abscessive sediment load. So whenever it moves, it carries a specific load. So in this process, the wind cuts down the low-lying areas into parallel ridges, which gradually erode into a separate hill, and that take onto a unique shape called yardang. So because of continuous flowing of the wind in the same direction and in the same velocity and in a stronger manner, so there are separate hills or unique hills which takes a different shape, and that is called as yardang. Next are the sand dunes. So the sand dunes are definitely classified into two types, that is Barcan and long longitude. So how are the sand dunes created? The transportation is carried away by the winds with the large size particles at lower heights and finer particles at moderate heights through the traction of the saltation. So the process of transportation basically seen in the process of sand dunes is traction and saltations. So in this case, the materials are transported because of wind and they are deposited in the shape of hill. And that hill which is created is called as sand dunes. So all the fine grained sediments, all the loose material is being carried away by the wind and they are deposited in the form of hill, and that is called as sand dunes. Next is mushroom rock. As the name suggests that it has a look like mushroom, hence it is called as mushroom rock. So in the case of mushroom rock, abstraction process is done, the polishing of the rock is done. So in this case, the high rising rock or in the path of the wind are attacked by the sand that moves with the wind, and the wind and the particles they carry and attack the base of the individual rock. If there is any particular rock between the path of the wind, so that particular rock is getting eroded continuously because of the velocity of the wind. And in the case of mushroom rock, that you can see that the top portion in the image, you can see that the top portion is larger where the base is eroded very much in a large amount. So the particles at the medium height are smaller, but their velocities are higher, hence their impact is more. So as a result, the proportion of the rock at medium height is eroded more, and the whole rock gets the shape like a mushroom. What are the different preventions and remedies we can do? So the preventions only to save the particular sand or rock from the wind is that wind breaks are the rows or the tree shrubs that are planted along the edges of agricultural field to shield the field against the wind. So you can plant the shrubs, you can plant the trees wherever there is empty space. So because of that, there will be an obstacle to the wind. The most effective method for the erosion is to increase the vegetation, cover the land, which helps to prevent both the wind and water. So as you increase vegetation, definitely the roots of that particular plant is going to hold the soil very tight, and because of that the erosion by wind will decrease. Tracing is an extremely effective means of erosion control where which can be practiced for thousands of years by all the people. So even terracing is also an good option to prevent the erosion.